All right, let's not look at our phones too much.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Henry.
Al Shabab. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Al Shabab.
We're just
When
about
will
to
you
be
Shabab,
dead.
by the way?
What?
When will you Shabab?
Because Al Shabab.
Al Shabab when? To ThinkShack, guys.
Al Shabab when I feel like it.
This is episode 28, and 28 means we've come of age. Old enough to have a special guest on the show. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I do. Henry Mongang is my name. I'm a voice artist. Yeah, I sell my voice.
Ladies, how wet are you right now? He sells his voice. He could tell you something else. But we'll talk in the chat.
He can turn you on with his voice, and he can probably do other things with his voice. Things that the rest of us would need a tongue to do.
Like whisper on your...
he just
one of you guys is actually a voice artist as well. Was it you, John?
Yeah,
it was Jean.
Yeah, that's me.
Jean's done some voiceover.
So if you recognize my voice, get undressed.
I used to do a Dr. Love.
Dr. Love. Yeah, I mean, I used to have a podcast that before this. It was, I don't want to say the name because that's my face on it.
Yeah,
but it was like dedicated. It's similar to Dr. Love. So it's
Yeah.
for putting people to sleep and everything. So I do. It wasn't really ASMR. or
ASMR?
anything. No.
Oh.
It wasn't really ASMR, but it was along those lines. It was very nice.
Okay.
I listen to it sometimes.
Because why do people that do late night shows have to sound that way? Like, hi, darling, how are you doing?
You heard that?
I love the fact that my mask is always laughing, so when I laugh, it's appropriate. Except when I'm not laughing, it just looks like I'm the Joker.
Yeah, like, hello, love, how are you? How was your day? Can you talk to me? Like,
Turn up the volume, guys.
I guess part of it is also because, it's nighttime. Nighttime is associated with sleep. Sleep requires soothing voices.
Yeah.
So people just find themselves automatically, putting on that kind of voice.
Part of my show actually was like giving people facts, because I've taken drugs in my life. I would associate some of these episodes with them. So there's one called
like
LST.
Cetrizine.
Yeah.
No, there was one called LST 25, which was learn something today in 25 minutes. So basically, one of the things, because I was supposed to be like the sleep doctor.
Right.
Hint, if you go look for it, you'll probably find my face.
Right.
But the reasons why you might want to use a monotone voice is because those voices are more conducive to sleep. Like if you're in a lecture hall, you listen to the same boring pattern. He's not using any inflection. The lecturer is not using any
It's so
inflection.
much easier to sleep.
And you find it easier to sleep. So that kind of like deep, what do you call it again?
It reminds me of my high school days. I slept through almost every single lecture. And
tell me about it. Our physics teacher in high school was sort of like SMR expert or something. Like the moment he entered the class like this, everyone sleep.
That's clever.
So this is Henry. This is a voice actor, as you guys can tell.
And he's one of the biggest fans of the show, actually. He's a big fan on TikTok.
He's always commenting, liking. If you go on our TikTok, there's not much to see on our TikTok.
So if you want to be on this show, you know what to do. Do what Henry did.
Yeah. And then, he, weirdly enough, I noticed him on TikTok for a while. He wasn't following. I noticed you were like following our content, but you weren't following us on Instagram. So I reached out because we're a lot bigger on Instagram than we are on TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's great to have you there. I know there are a lot of people out there on Instagram as well that follow our content a lot. I think we're gonna try and reach out to some of the most dedicated ones and try and get another guest and just keep doing it.
And I hope you guys are excited because we've been making some major moves. We're doing a rebrand with the guys.
We're getting a new logo.
We're getting a new logo. There are brand partners as well.
Yeah.
You guys voted for the logo you wanted. I think in the edit we could probably do the reveal. I don't know. What do you think?
My zipper somehow opened.
Why are you putting our attention to that?
This guy's like he has ADHD or something.
When
did the zipper come in?
The show, though?
I don't know, man. Probably dressing up before I left home.
Remember, it's Friday night, so.
But it was funny how I discovered you guys because you guys popped on my FYP. Is it called FYP?
Follow you page, yeah?
The For You
page.
Yeah,
for me page.
I don't even know.
And the first video I watched, I was hooked. I don't know what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, ask him which one it was.
I think it was probably
Konyagi?
No, not Konyagi. The first video we ever posted was the one about like getting shit smeared.
No shit, that wasn't the first one. The first one was Moiki Baki XXX. I don't know if you saw that one.
So I
on TikTok
it's not the Moiki Baki. I'm talking about TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was not the first video, but it was the first video of you guys that I saw, and it was so unorthodox, so controversial. I was like, who are these guys? And then your accent as well.
Exactly. So one thing I have to admit during today's show, because I've been tardy, is that we do not have liquor to review. We totally forgot. So but we do have a brief, so we're not gonna do it entirely freestyle.
In the meantime, what we'll do to our kunywa with our masks
and me with the voice.
Yeah, if you're not from Kenya, you probably won't understand.
The subject of today's liquor review.
And hey. You see,
Pistorius.
Why do you like that word?
Why do you have to do that to me?
No, because
it's doing me dirty.
You're not just doing it to the audience.
It sounds like what the sound of pouring something. Yeah, that's what we usually do when we're reviewing liquor. So we'll be like Pistorius. Well, it shouldn't really be Pistorius. It should be like something like R. Kelly, because that's like the sound of piss. But Pistorius sounds better.
You remember that song? We've been messing with the same girl.
R. Kelly, I saw a meme you posted.
Yeah, it's like, okay, because R. Kelly, of course, used to piss on little girls. He's the OG Pistorius. And then
Usher had herpes or something.
Usher had herpes. So there's like
it's scene, a cocktail.
There's a scene in the music video where they're approaching the girl. The girl
and they touch her shoulder. You can imagine how dirty those hands
are. Standing on either side. It's like when you have to choose between getting pissed on and getting herpes.
What would you choose? What would you choose?
I wouldn't choose
either. I wouldn't choose either.
But I do know guys like getting pissed on is a fetish.
Golden shower, that's what it's called.
Golden shower. So I know a lot of people will probably choose.
You know them personally?
I know some.
I know one or two though. I actually know one or two, and she was telling me. But this girl was like so excited about it. She's like, "Yeah, you've never done it." I even felt awkward because I even felt tempted to say maybe I have.
You guys
it's just weird. Like, why would I pee on someone else?
Weird talking of weird fetishes, I came across a story today of this couple, and they were confessing that they have a fetish of inviting people over to eat their food. And what they do is the dude.
This is going the wrong way. I can tell already.
The chile collects the junk.
I don't know.
The junk from the dude.
Oh, the cum.
They come and then they mix it in the food.
Yeah, don't censor it.
And the chile is like a really good chef. So she's like a really good cook. So people cannot
like edibles.
People cannot resist the
secret
food.
Sauce.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, what'd you put in this?
That could give you
a crazy secret recipe. It's been passed down from my grandmother. We don't. It's like
passed down from the grandfather because
Colonel Sanders 11 herbs and spices. I've always wondered.
What
the hell are those 11 herbs and spices? Was it his cum?
One of them is.
Could it be? You never know.
Because you try the same recipe at home, it doesn't slap the same. Yeah, so something is missing, obviously.
That could give you a lot of paranoia because, like, if you think about the things that you eat, like especially what do they call confectionery sweets and stuff like things that are baked, you buy them already. You don't see the process of making them. You could literally be eating cum right now.
Nah, if you are, you're gay. I mean, if you're gonna go down that road, almost every single restaurant you've ever been to, like the kitchen is a back room. It's a black box for all you know. You don't
imagine if you go to the kitchen, someone just like
the guy spits in the food. And the more kiosk like the restaurant, the greater the risk. Like you've gone to like Kwama there, and it's like the guy just making the chapatis. That's like some.
And he passes it from under here, so maybe it's just like. Just passes.
Actually, if you want to be really specific,
if
you want to be really specific, what if it's a very specific person's cum that gives you that flavor? So it has to be her husband.
So they put you on a lab like somewhere and they
all
make
you
your lab.
This is a bit of a dog joke, despite the fact that
they're milking you for.
Maybe they're using like albino. They're using albino.
It's like fucking tied like on a cross.
They're using albino cum. There's this belief that albinos have magical powers and stuff like that.
They do. There's the belief. I mean,
that was a dog joke about white people.
Wait, what?
Albino.
That took a minute to register.
Yeah.
I know.
But
okay, so we were gonna I don't know whether we should
start. Crazy white people. Russell Brand.
I don't know whether we're supposed to start with the topics or start by interviewing Henry.
Whoever you guys feel comfortable with.
We never know what the fuck we're doing. Let's start with the topics, then we'll finish with the coup de grace. And actually, let's start with our guests. Let's be.
I have some stuff. Okay, so Henry, I'm just gonna go through this. Sorry, I'm looking.
And if you like the art, by the way, this is by OJ. He has an Instagram. We should plug him, right? JJ Arts on Instagram. Look at that. Looks better than your girlfriend, doesn't it?
I wouldn't say that. She's probably watching this.
Yeah.
Or they are, aren't
It
they?
looks better than your boyfriend, I guess. Not gender specific.
Okay, so tell us a little more about voice acting. What is it for people that are interested in knowing?
Essentially, it's just you using your voice to lay on stuff, like on videos and stuff. So
I have an idea. You go ahead.
Yeah. So voice acting, voiceover, generally voiceover, voice acting, voice talents are people that lend their voices to projects, and the projects are many. They vary. So whether it's the radio ad, the TV ad, which is called a commercial for some reason, because you're selling
something.
You're selling a soul to the devil. Anyway, documentaries, IVRs, the telephone on hold messages.
Mteja wa nambari uliopiga.
That's my friend.
Anakulana.
Sorry, the mobile subscriber. I actually know I have her number.
You know Jennifer?
Liar. You have her number?
She's a mutual friend now.
Is it Jennifer Canario?
Yeah.
I know her.
Jennifer.
I once wanted to join her voice artist.
The Voice Actors League of Kenya.
All right, let's give us a quick take of what you would have done if you were in the IVR. If someone calls and they're not available, what would you say? That's where you failed. Start again.
Hell, man, you're putting me on the spot.
No, just go for it. Just go for it. The problem today is we're not high. If you were high, he would probably make this up.
Sorry, the guy you're calling doesn't want to talk to you.
Doesn't like you
He's
that
an
much.
introvert.
Doesn't like you that much. Just stop,
He's not going to pay your debt. I mean, you've called the 10th time.
So Henry, give us a sample of some IVR.
Oh, I've not done IVR. I actually did.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah. The person you're calling is probably too busy. It's on a Friday night. So please leave a message or fuck off.
If you had like custom voice messages, that would be dope. That would be really dope, actually.
Yeah, actually, here's another thing. Like now we're here. I don't know. This is gonna be so.
Freestyle.
No, this is just so out of topic. But like I was watching this video. When you put in your USB into like the laptop, like there's the default sound. You watch that. You can even change the default
Wait, I haven't watched it. Tell me about it.
So like especially on a Windows laptop, if you put in the USB, there's a specific sound, like saying you put the USB in. There's a file where you can change the soundtrack to anything you want. A woman moaning or fuck off. Put it inside, take it out. Take it out, put it back.
I would set mine as Kibaki.
Mafia.
Bure kabisa, huyo ni mtu anahitaji kutwagwa makofi.
That would be
that would be dope.
I would do that.
You go to a public library and then you play that in the loudspeaker.
Yes.
Exactly. So there's one thing that I've noticed is like the voice artists and then the voice actors.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
It's the same thing. It's just
it's the same. Both are artists. Yeah. Even a voice actor is a voice artist, but the acting bit of it is just like the name suggests. You have to be more proactive. You have to put in the skills that are put in on-screen acting, like the facials, the body movement.
And these are the guys who voice like characters on cartoons.
That's a voice actor. That's the voice acting bit. So Seth MacFarlane with Family Guy, Justin Roiland with give me the seeds, Maury.
I wonder who did.
And then he's got
then he's like, oh jeez, that's the two characters.
I wonder who did the Booty Warrior on Boondocks.
There's a.
Oh, by the way, did you know that they're voiced by the same person?
It's that lady.
It's a lady.
No,
that one is not a lady.
No, it's not the lady.
The lady does the kids though.
I might be wrong about this. I'm gonna fact check myself, but like Rick and Morty is supposed to have been voiced by the same person.
No, it is. I know it's voiced by Justin Roiland. He's one of the co-producers of Rick and Morty. So he does both Rick and Morty. So
that's dope.
He has a method for doing
like such a range.
Yeah, for doing the drunk, the grandpa thing. So he uses water to induce the burp. So it's like, where put the seeds in your ass, Mori. What people call love.
Always funny. I know.
It's the weirdest shit. I feel like they've gotten into this trend of making cartoons weird for adults.
Adult Swim does that.
There's some philosophy to it. There's some philosophy.
Yeah.
You see, when you make a cartoon, of course, because of the artistic freedom, you can abstract away a lot of the things that happen in everyday life in order to make the pill a little easier to swallow. So, for example, in the world of Rick and Morty, because it sells a lot of nihilism. If you think about it, nothing matters. You don't matter. The universe doesn't fucking matter. If everything is cool, everything is not cool. By making it a futuristic sci-fi thing, it kind of makes it easier for you to watch it, be entertained, while also kind of like getting the underlying message. Another one is Bojack Horseman. Bojack Horseman has like a world where we've got like people and humans living, animals and humans living together. And if you think about it, it's like, oh, okay, this is ridiculous, but Bojack Horseman sells a really deep philosophy about existentialism, and also there's this thing I was listening to the other day. I was like, if you watch like a sitcom, which is like what Bojack Horseman is a satire of, every time you're watching it, it resets. The sitcom starts, there's the beginning, a problem presents itself, there's some kind of struggle, and then there's a resolution at the end. The sitcom ends. That's why it's called a sitcom. It's a situational comedy. There's a situation that people have to take care of, and then it ends. And then next episode, everything resets, right? And then it's they're not trying to pick up on whatever the hell happened last time. But in Bojack Horseman, the core idea is that nothing ever goes away. So, for example, if Bojack is a jerk to someone, he comes back and bites him in the ass like 4 episodes later. If he, for example, gets someone addicted to drugs, 15 episodes later they commit suicide based off of it and stuff, and it's also about dealing with depression, because Bojack is suffering from depression. But that would be very hard to swallow, I guess, if you're watching it realistically. But when you put it in a cartoon, you package it in a cartoon, people can sort of just like enjoy the entertainment, and then the deeper thinkers can go
It takes the seriousness from real life situations and brings it to,
it's sort of like the way, for example, and I'm gonna get a bit geeky here, but have you ever heard of the concept of an Overton window?
What is that?
So an Overton window is like, think of like a Venn diagram. So there's a circle representing all the thoughts in our heads. Okay? The things we think about. And this is a very large circle. And then there's another circle representing the things that we publicly say. Right? And where they intersect, that is the Overton window. That is the place where like what you think is acceptable to say. So for example, today
that place doesn't exist on ThinkShack.
But you see, that's the thing. ThinkShack is also weirdly something like that, because like here we are wearing masks, looking like absolute idiots, joking around, giving the most juvenile of jokes. But every once in a while, we drop something that makes people go, And the thing about the Overton window is that it's particularly important when it comes to, say, politics. So, for example, right now, the Overton window is such that you can't publicly speak against the LGBTQ community in certain places. But and this is to show that the Overton window keeps moving. There was a time when it was perfectly okay to speak against the LGBTQ community. Right now,
in a negative way.
Right now you can't publicly say shit about women like on Twitter. There's gonna be a mob coming after you. But there was a time when you could totally say a woman's place is in the kitchen, and everyone's like, yes, true, blah 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? So with the Overton window, what happens is you can't say this publicly in serious situations, but there are ways to package up the information so that you can go beyond the Overton window and say things that people would otherwise not want to hear. One of those is stand-up comedy.
Exactly. So I was going to come to that because I watch a lot of dark stand-up comedy. Ricky Gervais.
Give us an example. Which one? Oh,
Ricky Gervais.
Jimmy. He died though, didn't he?
No, he's alive. I was George Carlin. You're thinking of George Carlin.
No, George Carlin, Louis C.K.
Louis C.K.
Who's that? Dave Chappelle.
Louis C.K. is dead?
No, he's not dead, but it's dark.
They do that sort of comedy which does not have that window thingy that you talked about. They've overcome that. And when you talked about the LGBT,
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle is a master of managing to package tough messages in comedy.
You remember that joke he made? It was like, he was high, right? He wakes up at 3 a.m. and he sees a baby in a diaper selling weed. And that's a philosophy. Yeah, that's a philosophy we live by because it's so like poignant. It's like, Dave, calm down. You're high. You know there is no way that is a baby selling crack on the street. And we use it all the time because you see things and you're like, wait, did I just see that? No, I'm high. You calm down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, and by the way, there was this special that Dave Chappelle did for Netflix.
The most recent one.
I don't know if it's the most recent, but he was talking about, because he got a lot of flack for talking against the transgenders.
I know that one, but I forgot the name.
I've watched it.
So he did a special addressing and he was talking about how he had a transgender friend, and like the whole thing was about him, like, addressing the hypocrisy. No. It was about him addressing the hypocrisy of the transgender community.
Yeah.
But he packaged it so well in comedy. At the end, you kind of got the message. And I bet a lot of trans people also watched it and laughed it off because,
I bet you there's a bunch of trans people that are just so chill. They're not like super woke and everything, but they're very rare. They're not the ones taking the center stage.
You ever seen the graph of attractiveness to craziness?
The crazy hot matrix.
The crazy hot matrix.
Yeah.
So if you ever meet a girl that's super hot but so chill, just like crazy. Yeah. That's a man. That's probably a trans guy. The hotter she is, the more likely she is to be crazy. It's just the thing.
Yeah.
Another thing I was gonna ask you is, what was your journey here? Because like, how did you end up becoming a voice artist? How did you start? And what are some of the I guess struggles and triumphs as well that you've experienced along the way?
I can tell you one of the struggles though. Like one of the reasons I turned down jobs is because they treat you like shit. Like the what is that? I was gonna say casting agents, but I think that's a porn site. So the
casting couch.
Yeah, but I mean it's casting agents, right?
Yeah.
So they'll be like, "Oh, I have this job for you. Come and do it." I'm like, "Okay, we haven't even discussed the terms." So I told this guy, "We haven't even discussed the terms." He's like, "What more do you want?" First of all,
money.
Like I told you, we'll pay you a standard rate. It's like 5K. I'm like, 5K for what?
Fuck you.
For what?
Yeah.
And it's just like a 10-minute script. I'm like, it doesn't matter how long the script is.
Yeah. I'm gonna do several. First of all, I'm gonna do several takes. It's a 10-minute script. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be there for 10 minutes.
Exactly. And then even beyond that, like if I'm doing an ad, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 30 seconds, if I'm doing it for Nike, I'm not gonna charge the same as if I do it for Nika. Exactly. But you can talk about the rest as well.
Okay. My journey. You asked about my journey. First of all, I studied journalism, MMU, Anasa.
MMU, it probably has AIDS right now.
I probably do. I should get tested. But yeah, when I was in school,
that's the school in Rongai, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's the wrong guy.
I am the wrong guy.
He's the wrong guy, ladies.
Don't
the right guy for your mom.
They've kidnapped me, so
yeah.
You guys can tell I'm not.
After this show, we're gonna behead him because we all Shabab.
Don't take that seriously. Don't take that seriously.
Oh my God.
What if he ends up beheaded? Sorry.
What if this is a confession and we don't know?
This is part of the welcome to ThinkShack package.
Thank you. Anyway,
he got nervous. You see the veins on the head? He's like, oh shit, that's serious.
Yeah, I haven't hired yet. So it's one of my priorities is not even hiring. So what happened is I got into voiceover as part of a side hustle to make money. I was in radio after school. I got into radio.
You said you did journalism, right?
I did journalism. So when I went for my internship, I was getting paid peanuts, bruv. I will not mention the station, but
mention them. We don't.
So as a means of surviving, it's for the church. God bless the beautiful souls. So I was getting 5 Gs per month, and I was living in a 10 G room. So I had to get the 5K, the extra 5K for survival.
How'd you get the extra 5K?
Mama.
He sucked a few.
God,
sorry.
What? You just went to that conclusion. Yeah, like there's a bunch of things you could sell, clothes. You could do, and then you jumped to this.
I sacrificed what?
He sacrificed his time. Is what I was trying to say.
Can we rewind?
But anyway, go on.
Go ahead, bro.
But so that's when I stumbled upon voiceovers because I was doing them a sort of practice in school.
It's like a side hustle before. And then
it is a side hustle before I transitioned into doing it. I do it full time, by the way. It's what pays my bills. It's what brought me here. So that's how I started by.
Imagine if you had an army of people called Bill. Like, I'm paying my bills.
They're like minions.
Yeah, exactly. Have you paid your bills?
Okay, I'll call on my kids' bill.
What do you think they'll look like? Do you think they'll be green, blue, or yellow?
Bills?
Yeah.
They'll probably be green because
bills are green.
Dollar bill, right?
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments. What colors would Bill be?
Yeah. What color is your child gonna be if you name him Bill?
The alien or something. Anyway,
Bill
so
is the name of the Jabba guy from episode 2, by the way.
oh.
Wait, what?
I'll have him come to the show. And there's a guy who like got addicted to Jabba.
And Jabba is green and Bill is green.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And then he started pushing him Kokoteni. There's a lot of stories. Like,
Yeah, you should listen to that show. That was a funny one.
I will.
Yeah.
So that's how I started, and then I figured there are actually very few people are making back from voiceovers. The rest are just doing that. Fuck all. They're just earning peanuts, like you said. 5G.
Yeah, exactly.
They're getting paid in exposure.
Yeah. Tutakupea kazi
To the
zingine.
sun?
We'll give you
some of them
more
Exposure
jobs.
to the sun. Tom Mike.
Yeah, so they have to walk to those studios. It's like they're always located in some place where it's like, I took a whole ass matatu
In
to
the
get
middle
it.
of Rongai and Gong.
Exactly. It's like,
Sio Kimau.
this is exposure for real. I am getting so exposed right now.
That's why I
Getting
record.
exposed
By
to
Yeah.
life.
So when I left my radio job, I was in Isiolo, by the way, for that matter. Very remote place. Wallahi billahi.
What were you doing in Isiolo?
Just say you were in the Al-Shabaab. We wouldn't judge.
I'm a reformed person. My past does not matter. So
I'll reform.
when I came to Nairobi, started now looking into the
I'm a
industry.
deformed person. But okay, go on.
Not deformed.
No, I'm just like, it just came to my head. Like, if you deform, it can be reformed.
Some may argue
but
that.
yeah.
If your wife gains weight after you marry her, she's reformed.
I know, right? First you form and then you deform and then you reform.
Reform.
Yeah, but anyway, go on.
Yeah, so that's how I transitioned now into full time when I came to Nairobi. Sort of now.
Isiolo to Nairobi.
Yeah.
From Isiolo to
That's
Nairobi, I quit, man. I told
Fuck
these
this
guys,
for
man, whatever,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
I can't continue living like this. What happened is,
Yeah.
this is the story behind my quitting. I'm getting paid peanuts.
Yeah.
And
literally.
then COVID happens, and then
We don't have money.
I have a late night show. Yeah. So and
my
Isiolo is really insecure.
That's crazy.
Isiolo is
Wait,
really
it's like a
insecure.
late night show, like as in a radio station.
Yeah. I'm
doing
doing the show from 9 to midnight, and
okay.
I'm doing the 7 p.m. news, the 9 p.m.
They
news.
really didn't care about you at all.
They didn't care about anyone.
They didn't love you. I'm sorry to say.
You were a Bill.
hurting
You were a
me.
minion.
You're hurting me.
You're a Bill.
You
Yeah.
think I didn't know that?
You're a Bill Walai.
when you're fresh from school, I think you'll do anything to just get the experience.
Yeah,
and exposure.
yeah,
So it was one
exactly.
of those moments.
So what made you quit? Like late night?
So it's late night. It's always really insecure. I once saw a dude just shot in the streets. He was carrying an AK. He was a thug though. Like I was living in Kulamba.
The guy with the AK was shot?
The cops,
Oh,
did him
okay.
bad. Yeah,
Okay.
it was around 7 p.m. I was
Jesus
just coming
Christ, I
from.
thought it was like midnight or something.
No,
Fucking
they,
traumatizing, man.
they were
Like,
robbing
I'm just
guys.
going home minding my own business. What the fuck, man? You just shot a guy in front
They
of
were
me.
robbing guys at
totally-
7 p.m.
Jesus.
There
Oh my
was
God.
3 of them with AKs.
Oh,
and
shit.
then the caroused, like they had been, they had some hint. So they shot the guy, the
got a
others
tip-off.
escaped on Anduthi. So me, I'm going home, I find this crowd.
Yeah.
Then I always carried my phone. I'm a reporter. They're not paying me, but I love my job. So I take the story or talk to the
Oh, you talked to people?
I did. And then, so when COVID happens, the show is late night and it's very insecure. They told me, come, let's host you in there, the compound where the radio used to be. And the house they gave me was one of the worst places I've ever had to live. I used to wake up like this.
It was deplorable,
Yeah,
I
it was-
must say.
Deplorable
the
conditions.
In the voice of Sir David Attenborough, that place was as nasty as can be. So I'm waking up to this place I don't like. I'm going to a job I don't like. I'm doing stuff I don't like. I'm
You
getting
had an
paid
existential
a salary I
crisis.
don't want.
Yeah.
I just woke up.
Did you have a chick at that time?
I didn't have a
I
chick.
wonder what
No, no.
Isiolo girls look
You shouldn't have a chick at such a time.
I wonder what Isiolo girls look like. Do they look
They're
reformed?
cute. They're cute. The Buranas and the Samburus are really cute. There's a
But if they're cute,
Isiolo
they might
has-
be collaborating with the thieves.
Isiolo is very cosmopolitan. By the town has like 40% Meru population, and then the Sambus and the
I
Buranas.
have no kind of picture of what Isiolo looks like.
Isiolo is huge. It's
Same thing with Somalia, Sudan. You know, those kind of places. I only think of a desert.
You should go to.
Just think of dust.
You should go on a road trip to
And
Marsabit or something.
Dust and
There's like
Arafat.
an actual town and like.
Isiolo town is a
activity.
huge town because it has like 4 radio stations. It's the county headquarters.
Sounds like it's impressive. Oh my god, that's so 4 radio stations. Never
They
heard
have
of
radio stations. So that's how you know a place.
But you know what's crazy though? It's like a as Nairobians, we get this elitistness about us. Like we're like,
you think Nairobi is the end all be all.
So I leave. My cousin was moving his music studio from Mombasa to Nairobi. So he told.
So it's in the family, yeah. Like this kind of entertainment.
No, it's not.
It's just him and his cousin.
You're forcing he forces. He's a business person. He doesn't. Not like a musician or something. Money. But he's invested in the studio. So he told me, you can come and do stuff because you've studied media and stuff. So I quit the job. I came to Nairobi. Looking for greener pastures, working with family is tough. Working with family is tough as fuck. He promised things he couldn't keep up with the promises. So
he's that uncle from that one tells you get your job after high school.
But I mean, there's a silver lining somewhere there, yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. After 2 months, I left
because that would be depressing.
I worked for 2 months and left. Yeah, that's when I started now looking. That's when I actually bought my first microphone.
I have a question though. Like during this time, because you sound like you're not relying on anyone. How do you survive when you're not making any kind of money?
I'm still doing. Remember, I'm still doing voiceovers part time, but at that time I'm getting paid like 5 Gs per gig.
I always wonder how people like house helps get paid like 3,000. This person has a family of like 2 kids. They pay rent, and how do you make it for 3,000?
It's tough.
There's got to be something that's not being shown there.
Yeah, it's tough out there. But people do a lot of stuff. When you're broke, you can do literally anything.
Like sacrifice.
Or pimp your girlfriend. Why are you thinking along the lines of sacrifice?
There was this time I was so broke. I got into a house, like a 2-bedroom house, like 6 of us. We were roommates there. And
like Nigerians,
yeah, exactly. And then because it was in Lower Kabete, it was near the campus, University of Nairobi campus. For my meals, I'd literally go into the campus. You know where they sell you food for like 7 shillings?
The mess thingy.
That is how
7 shillings though?
They sell it for like pennies.
Like 10 bob.
I haven't seen food for 7 bob since the 19th.
It's there in today. University messes. You go to the KU mess, the UN mess. It's gonna be incredibly cheap, but it's also gonna be incredibly shit.
Before we jump off this, I used to work in town. There's that time where the salary delays at the end of the month. So this guy, a colleague of mine, was like, "Bro, I know a place." So we went to the mess hall at some university in town. I don't know what it was, but they were selling like food for
15 bob.
70 bob. It wasn't that. It wasn't. I really don't know where these places are.
No.
I don't know if the food is legit.
I mean, of course, because of inflation, what used to go for 7 shillings will probably go for close to 40 shillings now. But I tell you, you go into these messes, you'll get some cheap ass food. But then it's the worst thing you could eat. Like,
I don't know, like
ugali and lentils, ndengu, or like.
I mean, I love ndengu.
As like this one piece of meat floating in an ocean of badly cooked soup.
Jesus Christ, that's like spinach from high school. That thing, you could take it and then squeeze the juice out of it.
Actually, when I was in school, we used to have like on Saturdays we used to have like bread. So they give you a quarter loaf of bread and what they used to call like a minced meat stew. Yeah. But like the name on the streets was quarter maji. Because you would get like the quarter and then it's a bowl of literally fucking water. This is just flavored. It's not even soup.
It's salty
like,
water.
Like 2 or 3 and it's mincemeat. 2 or 3 of those little things floating in there like cabbage.
Like
oh my god! It was
like accidents.
It was an ordeal.
To be in there.
Yeah. If anyone here, the quarter maji, you would know the school. If they've been to that school, they would know it.
Call that short quarter maji.
Quarter maji. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so I buy my first microphone. It was a Behring C1 microphone for 20 Gs. I don't know where I got the 20 Gs from. I know
where you got it from.
I just don't want to. This is what happened. Yeah.
In detail, please.
I got a job for the full gospel churches of Kenya in Mwingi,
as opposed to the half gospel churches.
The pastor called me.
Yeah, they'll tell you half life.
Exactly. You guys are coming with your half gods anyway. So they paid me 15 Gs. I had some little savings there. I bought my first podcast.
You went all in.
I went all in.
Yeah.
So I bought the C1 microphone with a sound card and my Kalapi from Campo in my cabin sitter. That's how I started.
That's dope, man.
That's how I started voiceovers.
So now you were doing it full time.
Now I was now deep into the voiceover thingy, researching who are people.
Walk us through a day in your life at that particular point.
At that point, I'm waking up. I'm on YouTube searching voiceover artists, what voiceovers do. I'm practicing. I'm reading scripts, random scripts. I'm recording myself because
passion.
People told me you can really do this. You can listen to Mwakazi and be like Radio Citizen, Chemi.
Where'd that guy go, by the way?
Wasn't he accused of rape? I'm making shit up. I think he just admitted to being addicted to porn or something like that.
He did. He did.
I am jerking off. Just urine.
I would never say something.
The joke doctor.
I'm sorry.
Like the joke version of the sleep doctor.
So it was just researching and
was it Justin
Johnson
Mnyongaji.
Where did he go, by the way? Did he?
He still
did he disappear into his bedroom with a bunch of wet wipes? Last I heard, he started like a college or something.
It failed. It was a media house.
I don't see him in any media now. Where did you go, Mwakazi?
He still does the Royal Media in-house.
Upenda kuchapa kazi. It's just ni kazi gani anachapa? That's the question. Mwakazi
or what?
Yeah.
John. Even the word John. You know what John means? Like in slang? It's like a John is a dick.
Condom. Wait, there's a condom as well.
It's a toilet. It's a lot of things. Like I've never seen an overloaded name like the name John. It's just such an overloaded name, right? It's like there's so many different fucking meanings for it.
Yeah.
And then stone because it's stone hard.
Yeah.
John is stone. Pende kazi.
You got you.
What is this thing they call where like your name is predictive of your career or profession? There's a phenomenon like that. For example, like a person who's a really good carpenter has the surname Carpenter, or like someone who's like a really good smith.
I know what you're
talking about. It's called Smith. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm just thinking along those lines for Mr. Mwakazi.
Johnston.
In some extent, it does. Yeah, like I'm Mwangangi means I loiter everywhere. Even
you mwanga.
I mean, you got to Isiolo, so
Mwanga every
what the
fucking
fuck does that do with littering, though?
He's loitering around the country. Yeah, loiter.
Not usually loitering.
That would be a funny name, littering. Like your parents want you to litter. Like name Mwangangi, atakuwa kimwaga.
Henry Takataka Mwangangi.
Mwanganga.
It sounds like Aluo would call someone.
Mwangangi is an interesting name.
It is.
Like loitering around.
Is that a Kikuyu name?
It's a Kamba name.
It's a Kamba name. Okay. Yeah.
Some Kikuyus have the name as well.
Some people in our audience don't even know what Kamba is. That's a tribe in Kenya.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And it's also a rope. For some weird reason.
Anyway, that's how I got started.
Tribe, though. I don't know why they call Kamba.
It's technically a Kamba. But I don't know
people.
But I don't know where the name also came from. I mean,
like Agikuyu.
First of all, it's so weird because I was thinking about this and I was like, do ethnicities name themselves? Like, did like for example, Romans? Supposedly their origin story is that they came from the twins who were raised by a wolf, Romulus and Remus or something like that.
And I forgot that history, but I remember.
Yeah, so then Romans makes sense, Rome. And then the Agikuyu or Kikuyu come from like Gikuyu. That's the forefather.
Yeah, the Gikuyu and
like, who the fuck do the Russians like? Why did they call themselves Russians or the Kamba? Or the Xhosa people? I think the Xhosa has to do with like Xhosa. Yeah, it has to do with the click sounds. I think. Yeah. But what about Zulu then?
There's only 3 clicks, by the way. I'll take this segment to teach you. So there's the C with it, which is, and then there's the X at the start of the word is just sh. Funny enough, but then in the middle of the word
is what?
X.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the Q, which is.
Oh, the Q is then.
Yeah, that's the one that usually comes. So there's C, which is, and then the X, which is, and then the Q, which is.
I can't even do the Q thing.
It takes a lot of pressure.
Wow. Sounds like it's really tiring to speak in that
and
language.
They do it all the time. There's even like a riddle. I forgot. I look for it and then I'll share it. We can add it to the.
I'd love to learn. It's just so hard to emulate those clicks, but I'd love to learn, especially as someone who loves piano so much. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, you were saying that a day in the life was going through YouTube.
Learning it was just stuff. Learning.
How did you start finding clients?
A lot of cold calling and cold DMing and a lot of.
Give us an example of that cold call. Let's say I'm Mr. Johnston Mokazi. I'm listening
Mr.
to
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. So call me and tell me like, hey man, what's up?
Hi Mokazi, I hope I'm not bothering you from.
You do the voice on the phone as well?
No, I just me talking normally.
Oh, okay.
So you probably should do the voice.
Well,
on the phone,
doing too much.
It's like marketing,
like,
right off.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
I remember I sent. Ramsey and I worked together actually, and I remember the first time I started working was doing phone sales.
Yeah.
I started working with Ramsey, and I have my demo here, so I don't know if we can.
You can play your demo.
Let me see if I can listen to it because it was like a sales job, so they wanted to see how you would speak.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's there. I'm not gonna mention the name of the company. Otherwise, I'll get fired for doing drugs on whatever. I don't know if I can find it. It's on my other phone.
Yeah,
anyway. My other Pixel one. Let's go on.
Yeah. Anyway, so cold calling. We were cold calling.
It sucks, man. I don't like it.
But I know it's one of the worst. So it's basically you just selling yourself and what you do, and a lot of times it's not very, very productive. Like you'll get like 2%
conversion rate of 2%.
Yeah, 2%.
And that's a good one.
2% conversion rate.
You need to make 100 calls just to get 2 clients.
Yeah, but because I was idle, I was jobless, I had nothing else to do. I'm a firstborn and black tax. I had to figure out combine a few factors: cold calling, emailing, approaching clients, even in offices, walking.
This is a bit off topic, but the easiest.
I like that. That's very industrious of you. I always admire.
The easiest way to sell yourself is actually just sell yourself.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has a few establishments, fine gentlemen's establishments. He told me one of his
he means brothels.
Workers, one of his workers actually made like 300K in a month or something like that because they'll go to these like Kilimani places.
Yes.
And they make money. So the easiest way to sell yourself is to just
sell yourself. That's the greatest thing.
Even
so are you encouraging people who are starting out to suck a few dicks?
If you can, do what you gotta do.
And if you're female, I don't know. I mean, if there's demand for it, go ahead and do it. I hear there's a lot of demand for like that kind of guy-on-guy action in the media space. Chris Kirubi, who passed away, God bless his soul.
Or not.
But yeah. I said that actually. Apparently he used to harass guys in the office as well.
Yeah.
So why are you telling God to bless his soul?
Because he needs it.
No, God,
he's one of the few people who actually needs to be
please just cast his soul.
He's already cursed, man.
Forget.
Apparently, the guys in the office at Capital FM would walk, and then the guy just spanks. I mean, here's the thing. Hear me out. And I wouldn't be okay with it. But then you go and tell people, by that I was spanked by a multimillionaire. That's a flex.
That's a flex. Yeah, that's a flex. Yeah.
So the difference between being creepy and people flexing on is how much money you have.
Yeah,
exactly.
What's your net worth?
Well, then, what the fuck did R. Kelly do wrong?
And Jeffrey Epstein.
I think he went overboard. There's limits.
Because Chris didn't pee on his employees. that would have been a little too much.
The limit is like a river of urine.
Yeah.
As long as you don't cross it.
Right. So anyway, when you started doing this, and by the way, like I said earlier, I really admire that. I've always also been the kind of person who's like, for as long as you've got, you've got yourself, your 4 limbs and stuff, get out there. Yeah, because your arms and legs. Yeah, like get out there, do stuff. Like put in the sweat, and as long as you work hard and smart, eventually things pay off. So did you start getting regular clients off of this? All of this.
Your first client before we jump to that? What was the first one that was like?
No, the first client that paid me money that I saw this money was good was Spotify. Yeah, Spotify.
How did you do that?
I was in touch with a Nigerian guy called the Voiceover Beam through IG.
Nigerian guy. Okay.
He's not a scammer, though. I didn't suck his dick as well.
I'm just pointing out that he's
so what happened is
there's a lot of dick sucking being mentioned in this
at
episode.
the point where I was following
the DickShack.
At the DickShack.
Dick Suck Shack.
At that point when I was following guys that were doing related stuff, that's when I came across Jennifer Canaries and all those guys. So one of the guys I used to follow was a Beam. And I was also reaching out to guys to ask them, can you mentor me? Can you mentor me in this stuff? And Abim was very receptive to
like a beam of light to Henry's light.
No, that's getting spiritual now. We don't want to start.
It sounds familiar.
We don't want to motivate people though. It's a very tough thing. My journey is very unique to myself. I usually tell even people that say they look up to me, no, don't look up to me. Just
look at me.
Carve your own path.
Figure out your own path. It's you can't maneuver the way I did.
No, but you gotta own your shit, right? Because this is part of what makes you who you are and your character. And, you know, yeah.
So Abim is on that connected me with Spotify. He was introducing the Spotify mini thingy package, and they were saying so only 45 shillings. You're the plug. Blah blah blah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So they wanted a young sort of that loud voice because the setting was in a club setting, and you're asking your friend to connect with the speaker. And
reminds me of an audition I did for KFC. Hey, they were like, it's finger licking good.
An audition.
Like, make it more colorful.
Yeah, so that was a job that paid me, and I was like, oh, we saw people make money from this thing. And
I
was like, now I was getting more sure about the craft. But the sustainability bit of it was a bit challenging because you get one gig in a month or 2 or 3,
and then fuck off.
To this day,
then you're just
for 30 years.
Yeah, you're getting
to this day is still like, even now with your experience and
everything. No.
Like,
I'm saying that's usually
the beginning.
The case in most cases.
So you gotta have a lot of different clients. So you
gotta sell yourself,
consistency.
Yeah. Or charge extremely high. If you can charge like
good moonlighting,
like 5 million per job, you can live.
People are extremely cheap out here. Yeah. There's a time I decided, let me be cheap. Let me charge 6,000 per hour. They were like, oh, your rate is a bit too high for the Kenyan space. I was like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah,
6,000 per hour is actually a pretty good rate, though.
The challenge is.
I'm just thinking from the American perspectives. Like, what they get paid? Like, what's minimum wage over there? $15 an hour.
$15 an hour. Yeah, it's like $60 an hour.
Yeah, 6,000 is
$60
like
is
around
fair.
$40 an hour or
right
something.
Now, but then around the time it was like 60.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my first client, good. Spotify paid me well. I'm starting to think that it's going to make bag. So you see, the problem with getting a good job when you're just beginning is you think every day is Sunday. Now you start thinking. You start thinking
you have a job.
You start thinking now it's gonna flow every fucking day.
Better be slapped by reality.
Yeah. So
big fat reality dick.
I had to figure out now how to. Ashlong. I had to figure out how to get clients to come back to me.
But in case anyone cares, I'm not crazy. I was just like simulating how it would sound if a dick hit you in the face. That's what I was.
It's more like
now you guys have become Foley
artists. Yeah. Foley artists are actually really interesting. They're the guys who do the sounds for movies and stuff like that. You think a horse walking is actually a horse walking, but it's like not. Dropping potatoes on the floor, dropping waru, dropping cash crops.
Yeah. So
those ones are never gonna make it in Canada.
Figuring the business side of voiceover, marketing. Where is this conversation going? That's now when I started now making a living from voiceover.
So wait, so your first big buck was Spotify, and then after that, over time you started to get more and more consistent clients.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what's a day in the life like for you now?
Today, mostly
wake up in the morning.
Auditioning. No, it's auditioning, recording, corrections, asking people to pay me money that owe me.
This is like a business.
It's just running my voiceover business.
Pay me my shit, bitch. What advice would you give to someone who wants to get into it?
Please don't. Figure out something else.
You're just saying that so you don't compete.
No. The money is out there.
Scoundrel.
It's a very competitive field. I actually have like 260 people that I sort of coach unofficially. I just
all at the same time.
I have.
You have like
it's like Jesus.
I'm like every Wednesday I have like a virtual session with those that that can manage to attend the meeting.
Go ahead and plug it. If you
it's called the Young Kenyan Voice Talent. Check it out on IG, on whatever social media
spelling,
platform.
Please.
Young Kenyan Voice Talent.
Young, like the regular spelling, not
like we don't want all
YUNG. Just Y over the regular spelling.
Everything is regular spelling. What I do with that is because people started now approaching me saying, "I want to get into this. I'm like, bro, I cannot coach you, but at a personal level, you'd have to pay me coaching fees, which I was not even at a position to do that professionally at that time. And I don't like teaching people stuff personally because like I mentioned to him, I'm transferring my own errors that I learned in the industry. So I'd like you to figure out the journey on your own. I'll give you the general knowledge that I have, sort of, then figure out your own journey. So through the group, through the meetups, weekly meetups, we sort of polish each other. It's become part of my routine now as well.
Okay, yeah. So you guys have it. That's Henry and his voice artist journey.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty inspiring story, FYI. But yeah, so we can dive into today's topic. How many more minutes do we have? By the way?
Before we dive into the topic,
10 minutes.
Before we dive into the topic,
better come quick.
Better come quick, man.
Yeah.
10 minutes to go.
I've done the aerial
just jerk off?
advert, the Swahili aerial advert.
Mosho moja tu.
That was you? Mm-hmm. Oh my god. That's impressive.
I've done Absa Bank, and the latest my advert that's on TV is social.
Absa is the old Barclays, right?
Yeah, the old Barclays. But before we close that topic, what is the brand you would like to work with? They might be big fans of ThinkShack. Probably not, but yeah.
A brand that I would like to work with or work for.
Trust condoms? Sure condoms?
Yeah,
always
doing voiceovers for a condom company.
That would be dope.
Any brand that's paying me global rates for a global audience. I mean, I don't discriminate. If it's alcohol,
the girl you're with.
I don't discriminate as long as the money's coming in.
So you would do gay porn?
I would.
That was quick. That was too quick, bro.
You would do gay porn or you do a voiceover?
I would advertise. I mean,
there's gay porn for.
I would advertise.
You know, there's like
porn.
audio. What is it called? Erotica, audio erotica or something. I forgot what it's called. Literotica or something like that.
Click me.
Yeah. So there's just voices. People listen to stories and shit like that.
I'll do that.
So guys,
you remember like you go on Pornhub and there's the
no.
This
not
game will
Pornhub,
make you
there's
come
other
in 30 seconds.
I'll do that anytime, any day, because I know they'll pay me for days, bro. I'll be balling for days.
No, I don't think they pay. Mia Khalifa sued Pornhub for not paying her what she was due for all the movies she did. She got like peanuts for the work that she did all those years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But then was she under a contract with Pornhub, or was it just like, you know, like because Pornhub has this like revenue sharing thing, like for ads,
right? But they only started that recently after the lawsuit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Russell Brand is in the media again. I've never
probably
heard
have to
of
do just
Russell
that one.
Brand before. I know him, but I don't really. I don't care about him that much.
Okay, the guy got accused of rape. He got demonetized. You know, his YouTube channel, blah blah blah. Of course,
he was married to Katy Perry. That's probably more relevant.
Yeah, and the idea here is that basically the angle is, why are we seeing rape allegations being weaponized against anyone who tries to speak out against the establishment? Because like Russell Brand supposedly exposed Bill Gates in a lot of conspiracy theories, and then poof, rape allegations just pop out of nowhere. He gets demonetized and whatnot.
And apparently these rape allegations are from 10 years ago. Although I don't think that really matters. If you rape someone, you rape someone. It doesn't matter if it's 20 years later. But it is suspicious.
So long ago. Why don't you just forget about it and get over it? Heal.
That's gonna get us cancelled.
No. I'm trying to mimic, like, if someone was like, you know, trying to introduce the whole statute of limitations on rape. That's how they
statute
say
of limitations.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, like there's these Me Too movements and things like that. So people get the courage to stand up and be like, you know what, I was raped too.
The Me Too movement. This is a manifestation of the Me Too movement.
And there's also they're waiting for someone to get to a certain level before you start accusing them.
Yeah, it's revenge.
It's like you can rape when you're nobody will come for you.
but there be a somebody.
Imagine if you're that person who's like just seen. Wait, is that the guy who? Oh shit! I'm about to be so rich. Motherfucker, I've got you now.
It's like you're watching House of Cards and seeing Kevin Spacey and like, you can be acting and you raped me 30 years ago. So.
And then I guess one other story to tie into it, although he doesn't have rape allegations, but he did get demonetized. Is Andrew
Kibe.
Yeah. So what was that all about? Why did he got his entire channel was deleted. He didn't just
from what I
get demonetized.
There's some lady. Was it the media council? No. Well, one of the ladies is like an executive at Google.
Oh yeah,
it's a kind of lady who doesn't.
It's the head of communications in East Africa.
Right. So there's a suspicion that she was just like, I just don't like this guy, and then she pulled a few strings here and there, a few G strings. You know.
We know Andrew Kibe. We know Andrew Kibe is a controversial figure, of course. But like, did you hear the actual reason she gave?
For what was it?
For deleting his channel.
So
basically he'd been suspended or something. He violated community guidelines. He's been suspended, or his channel, like, he wasn't allowed to upload. Yeah. So he created a different channel to upload, you know, kind of like skirting the rules. That's the official reason. And then they deleted all of his channels. But it's so weird because like immediately he did that, Twitter picked him up. What was it? TikTok picked him up. Yeah. I think he also has his own platform where
it was. They shared the name. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I remember there was a time
like platform,
like YouTube like platform. There was a time when on his show he was interviewing some two developers who were kind of building this, you know, for him. Yeah. And I think now he's the main guy.
It's called Africa.
Yeah, Africa. Yeah, exactly. So now that's where he does most of his shows.
Well, that's a lot of oversight by the guy. He planned all through, which is pretty.
And the first,
pretty clever if you think about it. Like, okay, so he actually think ahead.
The day he introduced the app, he had like 1,500 downloads on the day.
The same day.
Yeah, on the same
and this
day.
is like a Kenyan content creator. That's a big number.
Yeah,
that's a huge deal.
Yeah. You're sure the people.
I remember shitting on it though when I first saw him like interviewing, because you know this was before. This was before his YouTube channel got deleted. I was like, oh my god, did these guys just create a clone of YouTube? And now they're trying to make it look so revolutionary. I was just so bored by it because I see that a lot. You see a lot of like young, promising developers in Africa or wherever. They create a clone of Twitter, and I was like, oh, my app can make it. Like, fuck, we already have that.
Like you're cloning.
Yeah, but then again, we have 5 minutes. But then again, I didn't know that this would actually come in handy for him because his channel's gonna be deleted in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, he had thought that.
We should probably do something similar because some of the things we say about who did we say Johnson Mwakazi?
And we could create Africa is a public platform. We could create a Africa channel. Yeah.
I mean, all it takes is creativity, which apparently the Kenyan youth don't have because there's like thousands of NYS graduates turned out for KDF recruitment.
Oh yeah,
Embakasi barracks.
Oh my god, it looked like a fucking crusade. So many people.
Yeah. I saw the photo and I was like, are people really this idle?
Henry, you've told us about your journey. So how would you advise these people on exercising creativity and how to get out of that situation? Because if you have 350 slots and thousands of people turn up for KDF.
Stop waiting for the savior to come save you. You're your own savior. Please do your own shit. Figure out your own skill. Like those masculine dudes preach. If you're good at something...
Andrew Kibe.
Like Andrew Kibe,
gain a skill.
Andrew Tate,
if you don't have
a skill,
one.
be a developer, start talking on a podcast, whatever you can do.
Don't be shy, man, go for it.
I mean, just do it. It takes time to build yourself, but
one thing I like from one of the lessons of Stoicism I like, because I really started to get into Stoicism, and it's like the writings of Marcus Aurelius. It says do not be aimless, and he keeps repeating this throughout the books, like do not be aimless, choose a course of action and stick to it until you either achieve your goal or a better course of action presents itself. But at all costs, do not be aimless. Always be doing something. You know, otherwise if you sit around and just mope about your situation, you're not solving it. You know, that never helps anyone.
True.
Never does. And there's another, I think it was by Epictetus, is that how it's pronounced or something? Epictetus. He was like, he was saying something like, we can't control the external circumstances, but we can control how we react to them.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Like, in fact, the trifecta is perception, action, and will. It's like, okay, you have control over your perception. So things that happen are pretty neutral. Like, I don't know, your car broke down, it rained on you.
It's not inherently bad.
It's not inherently good or bad. But you can choose to perceive it positively if it helps you get on with your day.
Right.
Action is, always be taking action. How you act is entirely within your control. How you react to situations, how you proactively, proact. I don't know.
I want you to proactively make the decision to react to these videos. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe.
And then finally, your will. Because, I mean, okay, developing an iron will is a skill you need to learn, but like also your willpower to keep stay on the course, your chosen course, is also something you can work on and you can control. Potentially.
I was trying to close that in a nice way, but you had the so go ahead and like, share, and react, and whatever, and
have the will to follow us.
Follow Henry in the chat, but you didn't mention your personal
voice of Henry Mwangangi. Every fucking way.
Yeah.
And then follow Podstart Kenya. What's your ads, guys? Podstart Studios, and of course follow ThinkShack. Well, you're already following us.
So this was a fun episode. I think we were a little more serious than we usually are, and had a really cool guest.
Because it's late at night, we're 4 dudes in an apartment, and it's 11 p.m. You have
no
to be serious.
Dicks were harmed in the making of this episode.
Things might happen to you. Guys,
no dicks were sucked in the making of this episode.
Wear sure condoms.
Like, share, and subscribe to the ThinkShack. Whatever. I had no script.
Yeah. So. This has been Ramsey.
This is Jean, as always.
The voice of Henry Mwangangi.
His name is not Henry.
It's like a pimp named Slickback.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta say it in full.
A pimp named Slickback.
Yeah, it's the voice of Henry Mwangangi, not Henry Mwangangi.
Yeah,
so remember that.
That's on his ID.
Alright, cheers guys. Fuck off. Or we will fuck off.